Ako'y naniniwala na hindi lang naman tayo nandito sa mundong ito para mag-isa, kundi para samahan ang isa't isa. Ngayong panahon na to, maraming kalungkutan, pero sa kalungkutan marami ding kasayahan. Yun ang ating i-discover palagi. Sa kalungkutan, merong kasiyahan. Sama-sama, TLC.
Happy day to you, kaibigan. Kumusta ka na ba? Always keep on smiling because happiness is contagious. Masaya ang buhay, di ba? And you know, do whatever that excites you. Do not put limit on yourself. Tamang igalaw ang inyong mga isipan at patuloy na mag-aim ng mga goals na makakatulong sa paglago ng inyong pagkatao. Maraming salamat at patuloy tayong magsama-sama sa TLC.
Noted, in time like this, napakaligaya at kahanga-hangang pagmasdan ang magpapamilya at magkakapatid na nagdadamayan. Ang inyong nakababatang kapatid, halina, tulungan lagi ang sentro, TLC.
Kahit gaano pa nakakapanghina, nakakatakot at nakaka-stress ang mga pangyayari sa ngayon, huwag kang susuko. Huwag kang bibitaw sa pag-asang ang bukas ay mas magiging maaliwalas kaysa ngayon at kahapon. Ito ang inyong brand, sama-sama sa TLC.
Nagsimula sa isang iyakan, kalaunay nagkukulitan. Ang programang Students and Me muntik nang iiwanan, ngunit sama-sama sa TLC.
Ang hirap ng buhay, ang daming problema, ang daming pinagdadaanan. Easy ka lang, okay lang yan. Basta't kasama mo lagi si bro, tiyak, kayang-kaya natin yan. Tandaan, sama-sama sa TLC.
The views and opinions expressed by the host do not necessarily state or reflect those of the company and its management. Furthermore, the views and opinions of the guest do not reflect those of the host, the show, the management, and the network.
Magandang gabi, maayong gabi. Good evening, everyone. This is another episode of Students and Me. This is a very exciting night, no? Kasi po, we will be challenging the young people tonight. No, I hope na marami tayong manonood ng mga kabataan because we will be sharing the youth anong role ng mga kabataan in peace building. We have a very talagang nawawala na ako sa sarili ko kasi I'm so excited. Talagang a person, ang guest natin tonight is a person who really has the heart for the youth, especially here in Mindanao. But before we will proceed, so please continue sharing and liking our episode this evening. And I would like to welcome ang mga kasamahan ko na host dito sa Students and Me. I would like to welcome Mrs. Rose Gaid. Good evening, Ate Rose. And you
Hi,
our
good evening,
viewers.
Lord. Good evening, mga faithful viewers, no? Young people, no? Tonight we will have something for you that somehow it would challenge your being young. Okay, so stay on and wait for the next events that will follow. Okay,
And
Lord.
we have a guest host. We have a guest host this month of November, no? Na siya talaga ang instrumento. That's why we have a beautiful episodes this month of November. So I would like to welcome Mrs. Mercedita Tabuklin or Ate Mercy. Hello, Ate Mercy. Good evening. Can
Hello,
you greet
good
our
evening,
viewers?
Lorette. Good evening, Rose. It's nice to be back.
Okay. So, our theme for tonight is, ano nga yung theme natin for tonight, Ate Merce? It's the youth in peace building.
The youth
no? So,
in peace
the youth in the
building.
peace building. Okay. So
Mm.
before we will introduce our guest, we would like to show you the video. No, kung ano, sino, ano ang grupo na she is involved with, saan siya na,
Mm.
ano ang kanilang mga advocacies. So I will show you
Mm.
the video. Wow,
Wow.
grabe.
Mm.
When I
Gwapo.
was
Maganda, maganda.
reviewing, no, when I was seeing the video, it's really imagine, no, ang ganda-ganda na kanilang mga
Mm.
programs. So,
Mm.
Ate
Mm.
Mars, can we introduce our guest this evening who can to really talk about the video that we had just shown a while ago?
Okay, so before I will introduce our guest sharer, may I say something? Bagets na bagets talaga ang kanilang video presentation, no? Very
Yeah,
informative.
correct.
Maganda.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tonight is the second series of our conversations in celebration of the Mindanao Week of Peace 2021. And we are so blessed to have this lady who is so full of vision and passion in all her engagements in life.
Mm.
Currently, she is the regional coordinator and co-founder of Mindanao Tripartite Youth Corps, the Bishops Ulama Conference Youth Desk.
Mm.
She is also the president of Access Philippine Youth Leadership Program Alumni Association Incorporated.
Wow.
By profession, she is a licensed teacher. She is a psychosocial intervention facilitator, development
Mm.
trainer,
Mm. Mm.
interreligious and cultural dialogue practitioner, peace builder, and peace advocate. Her
Mm.
previous and current works, achievements, and engagements are as follows. Uh, School principal of an indigenous people school in Bendum, known as
Abendum.
Apo Palamguan Cultural Education Center in
Mm.
Malaybalay City, Bukidnon.
Mm.
Wow.
Campus Minister and Formation Facilitator at Xavier University, Ateneo de Cagayan.
Mm.
Training consultant for Department of Education for Indigenous Peoples Education and the Department of Agrarian Reform.
Mm.
Program Officer for Conflict Transformation and Interfaith Peace Building Projects in Caraga and some other parts of Mindanao.
Mm.
International Fellow for Access Philippines Project Bridging the Gap, engaging a new generation in the southern Philippines in inter-ethnic dialogue and conflict resolution, a 4-week institute in 2004 at, take note, Northern Illinois University,
Mm.
Illinois, USA.
Wow.
Mm.
Filipino Delegate Regional Youth Interfaith Forum in Perth, Western Australia in 2007. Filipino Youth Ambassadress, China Guangxi International Leadership Forum in China, 2010, facilitated by the National Youth Commission of the Philippine Republic. Official Delegate Conference of Muslim Christian Religious Leaders of Asia in Jakarta, Indonesia in 2013.
Mm.
And mind you, this lady, despite her very hectic schedules, is also an entrepreneur. She is
Hmm.
the co-owner and general manager of Cafe Higala and Lakbay Dialogo Travel Services and Consultancy. She is the co-founder of Connectus, a company for youth and young professionals that would provide online opportunities for blogging and virtual assistantships that shall create a platform of shared business industry through blogs, adverts, and networking building. She is also a Silsila alumna, like us
Wow.
with
Mm.
Rose.
So, yeah. So ako hindi
Mm.
pa
She
ako
is,
silsilalom na.
she is also
It's
a bead
time, Lord. It's time.
crafter. Imagine a bead crafter, art
Mm.
analyst, urban gardener,
Ha!
advocate for naturopathy, interreligious and cultural dialogue practitioner, spiritual formator, and a development worker. She is known as Jinkai GD to
Mm.
many, and this is also her account name in Facebook. Friends, let
Wow.
us welcome to the studio Miss Jana Jean Dacobor. Virtual round of
Hi.
applause.
Hello.
Ah,
Hi,
welcome,
ma'am. Good
welcome.
evening. So,
Yes,
thank you.
yes. Good
Ma'am, good
evening. Good
evening.
evening.
So
I guess
thank you
this is
very much. Yeah, thank you very
yes,
much for saying yes to Ate Mercy, and I really appreciate no for Ate Mercy of bringing you in our Talk Live channel. So, ma'am, before we will start our conversation, you can greet
sure.
our viewers. No, you can ask them to like and share for those of your friends. Okay, Ma'am Jan or
All
Jinkai. So,
right. Good evening, everyone. So you got this TLC, and it's like tender, loving care.
Big care.
And this is a very good platform for everybody for a continuous experience for dialogue and peace building.
yeah.
So grab this opportunity, my dear friends, to come out in your own comfort zones right now and be able to sit down and come up with an interactive exchange through this program that the TLC is having with us. So I'll be joining for the rest of an hour for this program and looking forward to have a very interactive and peaceful conversation.
Wow, thank you. So before we will start, I would like to recognize our mga maagang pumasok sa atin, our greeters, no? So thank you, Coach Edelor Arsiaga. Hindi ko na, ayan. Parang may problema ata, G, ang ano ko, G, no? So na may tech tayo. So Coach Edelor, and we have Coach Ed, and we have Coach Aida Manasan. And we have Gina Alunar over here, no? Hindi ko makikita talaga, may mga tawag nito. So,
Technical
and
problem.
yeah, technical problem, and my beloved husband also is watching. Okay? So we will start the ball rolling. Ma'am Jan or Ma'am Jinkai, what is this Mindanao Tripartite Youth Corps, no? bakit ito kini-create ng Bishop Olama? What is the purpose of this desk in Bishop Olama? Ano?
All right. When we talked about Mindanao Tripartite Youth Corps, so we cannot help to have some kind of a journey recall in the year 1999
Mhm.
and 2000 when we started this one. So obviously, I was very young by that time. So half of my age, uh, that was when we started working with the Bishops Ulama Forum by that time as a volunteer, my dear friends. So there was a big call for the entire Mindanao for young people
Mm,
to come together and
mm,
join
Yeah.
in the celebration for youth peace building. This is having an experience for the indigenous peoples in Mindanao, the Muslim groups in Mindanao, and different denominations among Christians. So they provide a platform which they call the Mindanao Tripartite Youth Peace Camp. I was invited to volunteer as one of the documenters. So I joined in the working team when I was still a young campus minister at Xavier University by that time. So
mm,
the
Wow.
kind of invitation was very is actually a strong invitation to me. One, because I wanted to understand what Mindanaoan or who is Mindanaoan
mm,
as to the perspective of peace building.
mm,
I was born in Cagayan de Oro, but I was able to grow up in my adolescent years in Cebu City in
mm,
Visayas.
mm,
But when I came back for college, there were a lot of questions about asking who is actually Mindanaoan and what
mm,
Mm.
what Mindanaoan can actually contribute. And that was the
mm,
kind of answer for me to start, no? So yun
mm,
simula po siya doon. And that kind of implantation, so parang nagbigay po siya ng opportunity to have some kind of a personal encounter to different ethno groups in Mindanao with IPs and also with Muslims and some other groups of Christians. So in terms of religion, I was even introduced to Iglesia Filipina Independiente,
Ganda niya
but
siya.
I
mm,
was working with the Roman Catholic. So for
mm,
me, the entire life has become interreligious and interreligious. But there's so much questions about culture, about
mm,
Mindanao history. So
mm,
my positive response is to work with under the banner of the Bishops Ulama Forum by that time when
mm,
we were actually working with the young people, that was a big wake up call. So I would like to remember that one as a wake up call and
mm,
to, bringing me into that kind of understanding what Mindanao is all about and how is Mindanao being composed of different kind of people with different culture, very colorful culture and very, very enriching religion,
mm,
especially in the context of understanding peace through
mm.
the spirituality of dialogue. So
Yeah.
when it happened, it didn't actually stop me since then to bring me into discourses and also brought me to Silsila Dialogue Institute for a study and also
Mm,
with Mindanao Peace Building Institute for another level of study. So it
mm,
was all about, the kind of excitement and interest to understand what peace building is all about. And it's not just
mm,
actually just peace building per se, but of course finding it out as strategic peace building. So the strategy that we found out is to bring the youth into the platform as youth is the future generation.
mm,
Yeah.
So, and I think that was the start of the MTYC in 2004. We founded ourselves for 3 years before we
mm,
have to label ourselves as Mindanao Tripartite Youth Corps from the common experience that we were having, the Mindanao Tripartite Youth Peace Camp. So everyone, those individuals, collective individuals, including myself, co-founded the Mindanao Tripartite Youth Corps when we're
mm,
able to understand what is dialogue is all about in different aspects, dialogue with the
mm,
self, dialogue
mm.
with the society, dialogue with others, dialogue with God,
Dialogue with
and
life.
dialogue with
Mm,
nature. And in
mm,
all those things, as we're trying to to understand, and we're trying to live out with all the effort that we wanted to do. These collective individuals try to bring that kind of passion and compassion to Bishops Ulama Conference, to serve as a youth desk. We were the ones who brought ourselves to the Bishops Ulama Conference, given the kind of experience. So we were asking with the bishops and ulama leaders by that time in the conference, in one of the conferences they did in Cagayan de Oro City, which we explored the idea that we wanted to follow their steps and,
Wow.
well, learn under their own guidance, and of course deepen our understanding in the context of dialogue. So in 2004, we were officially named as Mindanao Tripartite Youth Corps. If you remember when Ma'am Mercy introduced me, that I was having a kind of conflict transformation study in the US. And that's actually part of the output and the results. So what I brought myself as a Mindanaoan to America to introduce our culture and our efforts on peace buildings. And when I came back, I wanted to also practically bring our experience into a kind of a concrete strategic peace building efforts, which actually youth led, and with the guidance of our spiritual leaders, spiritual leaders from different ethno groups, no, like indigenous peoples. We have the Moro ethno group and also the Christians. So given that,
So,
we were, yes po.
I was really ano, I believe na akala ko kasi Ma'am Jing na yung Bishop Ulama talaga ang nag-ano sa inyo. So I just discovered when the way you shared it na kayo pala no, you volunteered you introduce yourself to Bishop Ulama.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
not I'm
It,
not yeah, that's the one.
yeah, I
Okay.
believe it was led by the Spirit. No, it was also very nice with the Bishops Ulama Conference, because what they did is they provide the platform for young people to be exposed. I was 21, 22 years old by that time.
Very
And
young.
when they gave us that kind of platform, it brought us to a lot of reflection, and, well, allowing us to be more hungry and thirsty of knowledge, because we believe that's why the foundation of the Mindanao Tripartite Youth Corps is having the kind of understanding that you cannot say anything, not even share anything about Mindanao and about the Moro groups and about the indigenous peoples if you haven't experienced it by yourself.
Yeah.
And it's something to do with our Lakbay Dialogo moves, no? So we have a kind of a program which we call Lakbay Dialogo. It's a journey in dialogue. In order for you to express very concretely the kind of understanding and the knowledge, is you have to live it out. So part of the approaches of educating ourselves is immersion, social immersion, and social integration. So we call it, in the name of the Mindanao Tripartite Youth Corps, with the guidance of the Bishops Ulama Conference, Lakbay Dialogo. So in
That's one
all
of your
aspects,
activities. Mm.
yes po, in all aspects, since then, it has to be in that kind of attitude. It has to be in that kind of giving in order to be more passionate, as you have to continue to have that kind of compassion with people.
So
That's
I'll
good,
take
no? Ate,
Lord,
yes,
I'll
yes,
take the
ate.
chance to ask something to Jana as a follow-up kay.
Okay,
Very
okay po.
intensive yung explanation niya, no? Parang nag-seminar tayo, no? Marami tayong
Yeah, that's
natutunan.
good. Yeah, that's
So,
kaya nga sana
um,
nanonood ang ating mga estudyante ngayon because this is a
oo.
very informative uh,
So,
uh, conversation.
yung mga ginawa nila ni Jana, engaging in peace and dialogue is really a spirituality. Tama ba, Jana, no? Because if it's not a spirituality, siguro matagal ka nang umalis sa ganyang buhay kasi mahirap, hindi ba? So,
Correct.
I'm sure you are really convinced na it's really
A calling, a vocation.
Parang
Yes, it
ano siya,
is.
student.
Malaki po ang tulong ng Silsila Dialogue Institute when I was guided by Ate Minda and Father Sebastiano. And
Mm,
I was beaming with all curiosity and
mm,
passion during that time to
mm,
understand every sulok ng Mindanao. So I went to
mm,
Sulu, I went to
mm,
Basilan, I go
mm,
around
mm,
places in the entire
mm,
Mindanao for me to
mm.
understand my own roots as a
Yeah,
Mindanao.
yeah.
And that was
Jana,
that was
mm,
yes, that was
mm,
a kind of commitment that I vouch to Bishop's
mm,
Ulama Conference,
mm,
that in all aspects youth
mm,
can be seen in the map of understanding
mm,
the peace building.
mm.
So that's
Oh,
why
You
we're
know,
Ate
here.
yes, Ate Rose, you have something to ask for Ma'am Jana? Parang nawala
uh,
talaga si ano.
Mercy.
Okay. Yeah.
Jana was listening to you. I remember what I have read in the book of Scott Peck, yung The Road Less Traveled. You
Travel.
really is putting into action, no? The traveling the roads that are less traveled by most people, no? It's very
Ye-
amazing, and you
Yeah.
I am really very appreciative of the passion that you
Thank
have.
you.
Until now,
Thank
it
you.
is still burning, no?
Yes.
Since 2004, that's a long
Since
time.
in fact it's since 1999 when we had that
1999.
kind of
Oh,
brainstorming.
oh,
Remember,
oh.
ma'am, this is very, very important that before we were
Mm,
labeled, we were
mm.
also honed ourselves within the 3 years before we come
Wow.
up a name in
Yeah,
order for
okay.
us to convince ourselves to where we are going to plant ourselves.
Yeah,
So, and
yes.
it was the vision was very clear. We
Mm,
really have to plant ourselves to anywhere we go. And we
mm.
have to be ready and make ourselves available in the spirit of dialogue. And it
Very
you
nice.
well, this is very, I wanted to share this one. I'm a teacher by profession. I
Mm,
was trained and given the discipline to become a teacher. But
mm.
I shared this one in the university when I was also asked to be one of the keynote speakers in one of the mission gathering. And I
Yeah.
told
Mm.
them I was born to become a teacher under the mango tree. So
Oh.
I wanted to tell the world that, it
Mm.
becoming a teacher is not just about classroom, chalk,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
and blackboard. It's all
mm,
about being in the ground. And that is what strategic peace building is all about. To be
mm.
in the ground from generations to generations.
Yeah,
So I
Generation.
yeah.
would say I I get older in this kind of mission. Like I'm
Mm,
telling you, I started half of my life, and
mm,
it's like a times two when we tried to bring in ourselves.
mm,
Some bishops already died, and we have
Yeah,
also
mm,
correct.
ulama that died that I
mm,
worked with.
mm,
And
mm,
there are
mm,
well, and there are many new breed of young people
mm.
that I accompanied and decided to really bring them
Oh,
into the kind of formation to dialogue. And
yeah.
that
Follow
So
the
that's
youth.
well,
imagine,
Mm,
yeah,
yes po.
Ma'am Jan, imagine Ma'am, no, I will cut you for a while. Imagine you started very young. Okay,
I
no?
yeah.
was.
Imagine yeah, so
Mm,
yeah, and then in
mm,
1999
mm.
and then so sino yung mga kasama mo, Ma'am? Who are with you? Parang nagfi-feedback
Yeah,
ako.
the co-founders, we started with Nor Asia Adilao. I don't know if you know
Oh,
Ah,
her,
yeah.
yeah,
and
I know
I
her.
know
I
her.
know
is
her.
also working
I
with
know her.
Cecilia Davao.
Mm,
So I started
Yeah.
with
mm,
Mona Lisa Dipangan, and one of the
Yeah.
campus ministers at Xavier University. I started
University.
mm,
also with Marvin Abao, somewhere here
Habaw.
in Aurora, Zamboanga del Sur, and also
mm,
collective individuals of the different ethno groups among indigenous peoples. So
mm,
we made sure that when we come to representations, it
mm.
represents culture and faith. Because the
Yeah.
tagline of the Mindanao Tripartite Youth Corps is interreligious and
Mm,
intercultural dialogue for Mindanao. So it's
mm,
yeah, indeed, it was a kind of spirituality that we really have to convince ourselves every day.
mm, mm,
And when we say every day, it's like an everyday renewal of
mm.
understanding to the different
Hindi.
sets of contexts that we
Yeah.
are facing. We believe every day context matters, the
Mm,
reality matters, and situations do actually change. And we value that kind of change, in which we wanted also to bring in ourselves to really live with that change. And that's how we try to bring ourselves to different trends. I may not be youth anymore this time, but I consider myself as their
Yeah.
formator. I,
Young at
I
heart.
Young at
yes,
heart, no?
yeah,
Still
I took
young.
the lead. It was the bishops ulama conference who confirmed my taking the lead. The kind of leadership wasn't actually easy, so it has to come up with a lot of prayers, and
Yeah.
also, a lot of dreaming and a lot of visioning, because it's not easy to work with different cultures and with different expectations,
Correct.
especially in the ground. So,
Ma'am Jing, we
and
will cut you for a while, no? I know
right.
it's very exciting, but we have to recognize, no, there is somebody, and he was one of our guests last October. You know him, no?
Yeah.
Si Ma'am, si
Rimo Española, ma'am,
Rimo.
is one
Yeah,
of our area coordinators in Davao.
yeah, that's
And
right.
MTYC, that's why they call me as the regional coordinator, because the leadership is all about coordinatorship. And
Issue.
our principle of meeting our minds and hearts is based in the principle of a circle where no
Yeah,
one should be left behind.
left behind.
And
So,
Rimo, good evening,
yeah.
Rimo. Rimo is
So we,
our IT leader. Yes.
yeah, he was one of our guests last October po.
He
The
did
Indigenous
mention, he did
Brazil,
mention.
yeah. And then we have another catechist, Ma'am Nancy Buena Braga. Good evening, Coach Loretta, co-host, Ate Rose, and good topic for this evening. No? Parang nagfi-feedback ata ako. Okay, can I
Oy,
get this
Ma'am
one?
Nancy, good evening. Katekista ka pala. Ako din ay katekista din. Um, I also intend to bring myself as a church worker.
Oh, what you are actually doing is God's work, Jan. It's God's
Yes,
work.
acknowledge always, every day. It's a grace with purpose.
Yeah, yeah. Ah, Jan, matanong ko lang kasi marami kang nasabi kanina na yung mga lakbay dialogo and all these
Yes,
things.
ma'am.
So maybe you can share to us what are the yung mga activities, yung mga programs ninyo sa mission mo, no? Baka
All right.
pwedeng ma-elaborate yan.
Okay. When we started the Mindanao
Sandali.
Tripartite,
Well,
yes po.
we cannot hear you, Lor. Si Loretta, walang kuan,
Naririnig niyo
walang
na
sound.
ako? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear
Yes
Ma'am
po.
Jing, before we will continue, ano muna natin si Ate Mercy, and we will have a break, no? At we'll play some
Welcome back, Mercy. Welcome back.
Okay? So we will have some our programs here at Talk Live channel, and we will just come back, no? Just wait for us.
Mabuhay! Are you, your friends, or your family are still planning to come to Australia? Why not? Let's make it happen. And of course, you might be wondering about the visas that would suit you best. So this is the right time. Please tune in every Friday from the 1st of October, 5 p.m. Philippines time or 7 p.m. Melbourne time. So wherever you are, please adjust. So once again, let's talk about migration. It's great to migrate. Only here with Lee on Talk Live channel. So see you then. Let's talk. Bye!
Hello mga ka-TLC!
I am Ace Perez.
And I am Attorney Migs Nograles.
Please watch Ask Attorney Migs. It's an online show that talks about our everyday legal concerns.
Yes, and you can like our page and you can ask questions and we talk about your everyday situation. So we have cases to answer, mga PM nyo. We try to answer them. So get ready.
Every Monday sa TLC, 6:30 p.m., Ask Attorney Migs.
Dito lang sa TLC. So, let us get ready for
Bagong Adlaw,
Bagong Hisgutanang Legal.
Back. we're back, no? Good evening once again. So alam niyo, grabe ang excitement. Tama talaga ang sabi ni Ma'am Jinky, no, na to be a teacher is not just in the four corners of the room. No? Kaya nga ang students and me really usapang buhay guro at estudyante sa loob at labas ng akademya. No, yung mga knowledges natin inside the four corners of the school, hindi yan siya magiging it will not grow unless we go out of our way, and this is what Ma'am Jinka is sharing. And the other thing also, bago nawala si Ate Mercy, no, she said that this is really her spirituality, no, but it really needs everyday prayer. So I will welcome back our host this evening, Ate Rose and Ate Mercy. Yan, nawawala si Ate Mercy. Talagang
Oh,
pag
nawala
ganito
si
ang
Jana.
life, yeah, no,
Nasaan si
later.
Jana?
Pag mawala ang pag ganito talaga ang problema sa ating connectivity, and we have to live with that. Ako nga kanina nagdodobot, parang nag-e-echo ako. That's why I get there. So, we will welcome again Ma'am Jana. Hi, Ma'am Jana.
Okay.
So,
Hi, Jan. Balik. Welcome ulit.
we live with the question. No, we made a break with the question of Ate Rose of beside
Yeah.
lakbay and dialogo. So what are the other activities that you have in this
Programs.
program?
Programs and activities.
Okay, my dear friends, the banner program of the Mindanao Tripartite Youth Corps is the Mindanao Tripartite Youth Peace Camps. When it started, it was all about Mindanao-wide experience to come together in one venue for an exchange, for a very meaningful conversations, and of course, exchanges of culture and faith. And through the years, we wanted to bring more young people to experience such. So we brought the Mindanao Tripartite Youth Corps in the province level, in the regional level, in the barangay level, in the church-based level, in the LGU level. So that's why the Tripartite Youth Peace Camp has become localized. So that more young people to experience this one, either church-led, either LGU-led, or either school-led. And so from that time on, when we started, we were supported by the Bishops Ulama Conference, not just moral support, but even finances for the programs to run. But eventually in 2011, that was 2011, like 10 years, what's that? 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
10 years ago, we decided with the core council of leaders, which I'm the one taking the lead, that we won't be depending on program funds. We wanted to create and recreate our own resources. So from those young people that we started have become employees and have been workers and have been, earners. So there is what we call pledges. It's a support for continuity in terms of administration and operation. And we also built social enterprises. And there are actually 3 social enterprises that we put up. One of this, you have heard, the Lakbay Dialogo Travel Services, which of course, the powerhouse of the Lakbay Dialogo programs, that people has to pay their own experience to enjoy travel with a purpose and to understand immersion and integration. Of course, our clients would have to pay this one in order to experience, and then we design and put value in their experience through peace building efforts. The second one is Cafe Higala, because one of our advocacies is to live naturally and to feed ourselves healthy. So Cafe Higala is providing food that must be nutritious, organically produced, and naturally prepared. And we're offering food, and we're also trying to make people understand why health is very important, especially this time of the pandemic. It's a double, triple kind of mission in order for people to understand and be aware of our physical needs, and also trying to bring in spirituality. And part of it is to love our body and to love our mind. The third one is what we call Tienda Pakigdait. When we started, it was a very conscious effort that we wanted to help small scale businesses, producers, crafters, makers, all over, especially those who have not been given the chance to have their own market, those up in the mountain, like the indigenous peoples who don't have, the sources to market their products. So because we travel a lot and we have to go to places, so we try to comprahon namo ang ilang produkto and able to sell this one in our Tienda Pakigdait platform. And Tienda Pakigdait is a store for peace. We have a product that we make our own soaps. We also collaborate with makers on shampoo bars, and we wanted to understand the no use of or no use or less use of single use plastics, and we wanted to understand how to be more organic, how to be ecologically friendly. And because part of it is this is to live out also the dialogue with nature, and part of that is ecological governance. So it is but a conscious effort in our lifestyle and in our movement, that we wanted to teach ourselves so that we could also teach others. In that is an opportunity for us to live with it and try to live through with other people, especially with the youth.
So imagine, no? So we have with us, no, kasi hindi ko nakikita si Doc Arwin is with us, no? Doc Arwin, he is one of the coaches, Ma'am Jingkay, no? She's a very active a veterinarian also. And we have Dr. Eva Aranas Angel with us also watching. So kung ba't kasi talaga may limitations ngayon. Buti na nga at nakabalik ang aming internet connection. So makikita talaga natin, no, na the group really is really trying to be holistic in all aspects, no? Diba, Ate Rose and Ate
Very
Marcy?
holistic approach.
And this is a very informative conversation that we have with Ma'am Jingkay, because they can replay and we can share it with our friends, even only if you're watching this evening, but we can live, no, but we can always share this one. And we hope we have a part 2 with Ma'am Jingkay, no, as we go along with our, kasi this is really very informative, especially for the youth, no, because I am with with the academy now, no, nagpa-part-time teaching ako sa Holy Cross. So nakikita ko talaga your group is very important, especially the Lakbay Dialogo. I am touched with that na. Kasi nasanay tayo, 'di ba, Ate Merce and Ate Rose, na free natin yung mga kabataan, no? They will just come with us and we will spend for them. But I am touched with the program of Lakbay Dialogo, because we can see the commitment of the youth, of the young person, because interesado siya, because he spends or she spends for that. Okay? So, yan. What are your thoughts with this, Ate Mercy and Ate Rose, before we will move forward with Ate G?
Okay. Yung sa video kanina, Jan, meron doon MTYC Davao. So, si Rimo ata ang leader dito sa Davao. Rimo Española was also our guest last October. So, anong mga program dito sa Davao under the leadership of Rimo?
Well, the intention of having MTYC Davao, MTYC Jensan, MTYC Zamboanga, and so forth is to saturate our presence and of getting near to young people all over Mindanao. In fact, I hate to say this one, but pandemic has become also a blessing for the community to expand ourselves to Visayas and Luzon. So I'm not saying that COVID-19 pandemic is good, but it so happened we try to rise, above from these situations. So because there's a lot of limitation this time together, and this online platform taught us also to cross
to make use
to
of
different borders. And that's why we're able to have a community in Visayas and in Luzon, and expanded to global communities as well.
Wow.
So the strategy is to have small groups. So the question, what are the activities? This is what this is nice with the MTYC Mammers. We always we try to conform with what the society has moved into. Like there's no uniform activity. The idea is you build a community. Remember that peace building is not just about conflict resolutions. It's not just about resolving conflicts or making people at peace by means of silence or stoppage of war. Peace building is all about relationship building. It's all about
True, correct.
bringing societies, with people and bringing people together into being socially cohesive
Yeah.
and socially engaged and socially available. It's all about relationship. We value so much of relationship,
Yeah.
regardless of our culture and regardless of our faith. And basically, this is the fundamental mandate of our faith, to be with people and to
Yeah.
always be more available by all means, especially to the needy, and especially for those who have concern to sustain peace and justice. So that's why you see our presence in there. Our response is, you know, uh, able to live that spirituality in dialogue and able to also emanate this one in different communities and conform to what the community or the local communities would be needing. And, activities such as Circle in Dialogue is an opportunity to introduce ourselves together despite of some discomfort. And why are we having all these, especially for these young people that are very much into um, parehas kami, and the
Yeah.
MTYC, it's not about
Belongingness,
uniformity.
belongingness.
They call they call
MTYC
that
is all
they
about
call that squad ngayon,
multi-diversity.
Ma'am Drinkay. They call that squad, no? Mga young people, tinatawag nila ngayong squad. We belong to one squad. So, yung
Oo,
generic,
oo.
ganyan
But
talaga.
in the interfaith, by the way, we also have the interfaith for us, probably for young people, is a game board. But the opportunity for the MTYC to be more trendy is also to teach them how to play in that game board. To teach them
Wow.
also have that kind of skills in order to bring themselves into the right squad. But well, of course, there's no right squad. But there is a squad. There is grouping. There is, collective individuals. And
Yeah,
more or
yeah.
less, it brings discomfort. It brings inconvenience. But it also it's also very much inviting to confront our inconvenience, to confront our discomforts, and go beyond in that so that we can be more expansive and be more sustainable. We cannot sustain by ourselves. We cannot sustain life by just of our own comfort zones and with just of the persons that we know. Whether it will come into a certain period in life that we really have to interact and really have to engage. And pandemic does actually tell us how it is to really work beyond our comfort zones and really have to cross borders. So that's where dialogue has to live and should be practiced and hopefully be embraced. It's not easy. It took us 20 years or more. Like MTYC as a formal community and a movement of young people in peace building turned out to be 17 years with the
Yes.
label of the Mindanao Tripartite Youth Corps. But if we try to go back to where we come from when we started to hone ourselves, it's
Yeah.
already beyond 20. That's more than 2 decades, my dear friends.
True.
Actually, no?
Jana,
Yes,
Jana,
ma'am.
for all those years that you have worked with your mission, no? With your passion, what are some of those joys and challenges that you have encountered personally?
All right. Si Ma'am Lord, pwede po bang i-share po natin yung calendar po natin ng Kukabildo Higala? So I wanted to
Hala,
do some
hindi ko
kind of
naano,
jump start.
sorry talaga, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot
Sige
to
po.
download it,
Sa
ma'am. Never
sunod na
mind.
lang siguro na episode.
Oo.
Sa next
Yung
Yeah.
Kukabildo
episode.
Higala, which I'm very much happy that Ma'am Mer's able to join with us on the first episode.
Mm-mm.
Now, that's one of our joys. our joy is to be able to be present and be able to bring ourselves in a circle of a community, and we wanted to be one with the society. Like for young people today, they probably, the usual young people, they probably would say, they have their own world, and we wanted to create our own world based on our
Mm-mm.
likes, based on our
True.
wanting. But the MTYC is more than that. It's
Mm.
actually a moment of breaking and making ourselves together. Like we always have
Mm.
to confront our own brokenness. And almost
Mm.
always, this kind of brokenness led us to a
Mm.
very beautiful experience of coming
Mm.
together. Me, I'm
Mm.
having close friends and best friends with the Mara now already, and also
Mm.
people with Tausu, which I haven't
Mm.
experienced that one in the past when I was still younger. But
Mm.
Mm-mm.
the fruits of our 2 decade experience has brought a lot of community of young people to
Mm.
understand, and also to have that full understanding of why there's a need to engage and sit down
Mm.
and eat
Mm.
together and be with
Mm.
together,
Mm.
regardless of what faith you have or regardless of what
Mm.
culture you're having. But the
Mm.
opportunity of having that kind of humanity and
Mm.
living that kind of humanness in us,
Mm.
it has to become very much authentic in the
Yeah.
way we have to live it through.
Yeah.
So
It's yeah, it's
that's it.
7:51, Ma'am Jang. It's 7:51. I hope maybe we could continue next Tuesday.
Kulang ang oras,
Yeah,
no?
kulang
Kulang.
talaga ang oras. No,
I
this is a
think we
very
need second
informative and
episode. We need part two.
yeah, we have part two if you all would be
Very
available.
hearty conversation.
Maybe, yeah,
Yeah.
this conversation would be okay with you, Ma'am Jinkai, that we will be having
Sure,
a part
sure.
two. Yeah, that's good.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime. This is very good opportunity for us, no? Especially this time.
Mm.
It has been
Mm.
mentioned when you started that this is one of your contributions to the celebration of the Mindanao Week of Peace.
Yeah.
This is what is very good with Filipinos. Though our Mindanao Week of Peace would have to be celebrated on November 25 to December 1 for this year, but this time around, we wanted people to feel the spirit
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
celebration. And true, because this kind of celebration is not just, like a one time, one snap experience. It started in year 2001 when the proclamation 127 was actually put, being shared to. In 2001, when President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo then able to ask the government to really recognize the common aspirations of Mindanaoans to live in peace, to live
Mm.
in unity, and to live in harmony with
Mm.
each other, regardless of our state in life, our religion, and
Mm.
culture. That's the
Mm.
reason why we're celebrating the Mindanao Week of Peace.
Yeah.
And it's all about
Mm.
the Mindanao solidarity. And despite the fact that we have wars in every corners and we have issues
Mm.
on COVID-19 pandemic, on issues
Mm.
on mental health, I guess teachers have so much
Mm.
concerns about that one. But this is all
Grabe.
about raising our consciousness for the culture of peace that we wanted to build and for the culture of peace that we wanted to live, especially among Mindanaoans. Either they
Mm.
are here in Mindanao or they are outside in Mindanao. The idea is
Mm.
bring the Mindanao spirit as one solid community that works for Kalinaw, Mindanao.
Wow,
So,
Because
mabuhay ang
one of
Mindanao.
the objectives here kasi Ma'am Jinkai really as what when Ate Mercy give me the idea of this one is, so this is a very good platform for us Ate
Mm.
Mercy, because our channel is Luzon, Visayas and Mindanao, and
Mm.
we do have also viewers from other countries, so that they will be
Mm.
also aware of what is going on, the peace building, especially the involvement of youth in this advocacy, no? And
Mm.
talaga namang maybe as we forward with our celebration preparation, maybe Ate Mers and Ma'am Jinkai, we could bring in some of your young people, no, to join us in the conversation in the future, so that
For
this is
next
really, yeah,
episode.
yeah, for the next episode
Ah.
maybe, because this is
Mm.
really a very informative and amazing conversation for us tonight, no? Parang na-overwhelmed talaga ako, no? I cannot imagine na ito ang nangyayari sa atin tonight, na imagine it's 7:55 and said we have a lot of things because Ma'am Jinkai really has many things to share with us, no, because of the experience. Kasi ito talaga ang importante ngayon, Ate Mercy and Ate Rose, na ang mga kabataan ay talagang they have to be involved, no? They have, kasi nandito you know, especially I experienced that with my children. They're so engrossed with social media, with playing, no? Maybe we could always share this one also to them.
Yes.
Okay.
So, yes, you made mention for the youth to really participate. Our government this time is having the kind of initiative of crafting our national action plan for peace and for youth, peace and security. And I would like to grab this opportunity to tell you guys, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, wherever you are, to join in the survey and be heard, and let your organization be part of the map for the crafting of the National Action Plan for Youth, Peace, and Security. MTYC is working with the Office of the Presidential Advisors on the Peace Process. We're helping this out. We document the whole processes. We go down to the ground. We help out in the communications for external affairs, because we wanted the young people to really participate. One of the pillars of the UNSCR 2250 is all about youth participation. And it's not just about, participating because they wanted to be part of or wanted to become popular, but it's something to do with your engagement, where you have to bring your mind and spirit in there, and you have to speak out. You're being youth, no? It's not all the time that you are youth. It's not forever, my dear friends. So while you are, so grab the opportunity, just like what I did when I was a youth, and I was a young worker, I was a young employee, but also I started as a volunteer. And I'm saying myself right now, I'm telling you that I have become volunteer, and I am a volunteer for my lifetime. And this is what Mindanao Tripartite Youth Corps is all about. It actually has been growing because of the spirit of volunteering in its real sense. Like when you volunteer yourselves, you really have to give the best of you in order to create and recreate, the spirit of dialogue and peace building effort. So I'm asking all the adults, you guys, if you have sons and daughters, and if you have young people with you, if you're teachers, and if you are a company, if you are, if you're a youth formator, bring that kind of opportunity for young people to be uprooted, and also bring in the kind of rootedness as a Mindanaoan to them, in order to really participate. And that's the start, to really participate. And that kind of engagement would bring us to prevention, would bring us to protection, would bring us to disengagement, would bring us to reintegration. And that is what National Action Plan for Youth, Peace, and Security is all about. We wanted to stop these all struggles that we want. If we cannot stop this one in our lifetime, at least in our own youthfulness, we're able to contribute.
Yeah, that's it. It's a process, no? So it's 7:58. So Ate Mers, could we have a part 2 next Tuesday? Would it be okay?
I think
with
we
you,
should.
Yes,
I think we
with
should.
the recommendation of Jana, she can give us people to be with us next
Or
episode, maybe.
Yes,
maybe
they're watching, Mamers.
no?
Our young people
Wow.
right now, because right at this moment, there is an IP dialogue that we're facilitating. That's why Cyril is in the area of Rugungon in Iligan City. Rugungon is one tribal community here. We work with Tribo Initiativo. So they're having reflections with the elders in the community right this minute. So that's why she's not able to join us on board here, but they're watching. They're trying to follow us.
Wow.
They're trying to also see through
Thank
what
you
is
for
this
watching.
TLC is all about. Yes.
Thank you.
So thank you. So it's 7:59. So Ma'am Jinkai, so we will see
Kadali
you again
sa
on
time.
next Tuesday. So especially the one that the survey, no, the one that's very important, so that young people could participate. And even I hope that you will also be tawag nito, you will also be tapping some of the some of the schools here in Davao City also for that program.
Yes,
It's a
ma'am.
big help.
So we would be
Yeah.
inviting you. I gave the schedules for the Mindanao Week of Peace for Youth Peace Building. So we wanted to collaborate
Yeah.
with you. That is open for partnership and collaboration. So we just have to talk in order to also, you know, discuss things on what we can actually contribute, bring ourselves in the platform for sharing, and also
Yeah.
have that kind. So we will grab this opportunity while we are still on digital processes right now. Even
Yeah.
at your own comfort zones right now, we can make a difference, and it has to be positive.
Students
True.
and me is always a open for that, no, this is our advocacy also.
Shit.
That's why this program was born. No, it's we've been 1 year already, Ma'am Jinkai, amidst pandemic where people died.
Yay!
And then we try to make really our program more informative and engaging. And again, I would
Invite din
really
namin kayo, ma'am, sa Kukabildo Higala every Saturday, 1, 2, 3 p.m.
yeah, that's why
Oh, nag-join
I'm
ako.
really very thankful. I'm very thankful with these two ates of mine. I call them Ate Rose and Ate Mercy, for really helping me out, because I cannot do it alone. And especially Ate Mercy for the ideas. Diba? Is two head are better than one. So thank you very much,
Sure.
Ma'am Jinkai. So we will not give our parting words, because we will be seeing you again next Tuesday. And also maybe after Ma'am Jinkai sharing, we will have our takeaways, Ate Mercy
Okay,
and
so may
Ate
part
Rose.
2 pa pala, Jana.
May part two. So
It's
we will
decided.
yeah. So
Right
there will be
away.
a party right away. So next Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen, our beloved viewers. So please, those who are adults who are watching us this evening, invite your children, invite your youth to join us next Saturday for a very engaging and informative conversation with Ma'am Jinkai. Okay, thank you and good night, everyone. And see you all on Tuesday. No, we will be back on Tuesday. We will be back for sure on
Okay.
Tuesday. So good
Sige,
evening,
good night.
everyone.
Thank
See
you
you
so much,
Tuesday.
and God bless us.
Thank you also, Jana.
Oh,
Thank you very
amping
much,
ka
Ma'am
mong
Jana.
ganan.
You're a gift to humanity.
Thank you so much. Thank you po. Thanks
So
to the
we will
Bishops
see you
Ulama
all
Conference.
We will see you
Say
all
hello
on
to
Tuesday.
Archbishop Kapalya.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
might
Good
be
night,
watching with
everyone.
us.
Yeah. We will share this one. They can replay this one, Ma'am Jinkai. They can always replay it. Okay. Good night, everyone, and
Good
Good
night.
night. Take care.
Okay. See
Para sa pangarap, tuloy ang laban. Ito ang inyong singer-composer-host ng theme song, Ang Awit ng Buhay Mo, Coach Elma D. Zuniga. Sama-sama sa TLC.
Mga ka-Life Librarians, sa Life Library, halina't makibahagi ng paghatid ng aral at saya sa bawat isa. Sa Life Library, halina't makibahagi ng inspirasyon at kalakasan sa gitna ng kabiguan at kahinaan. Sa Life Library, halina't samahan si Doc Esme. Sama-sama sa TLC.
Hello everyone. Let's enjoy this beautiful life together. Share us your story. Your story matters and your life matters to us. Sama-sama tayo sa TLC. This is Coach Dalia. God bless.
Sa hirap at ginhawa,
lungkot at ligaya,
dapat ang pamilya sama-sama sa TLC.
Hindi mo kailangang solohin ang lahat ng laban sa buhay. Sama-sama sa TLC.
Mornings will always remind us how blessed we are, because every gising is a blessing. This is Coach Des Ballesteros of Woke Up Like Des, sama-sama sa TLC.
Napakarami po natin pinagdadaanan sa mundong ito. Pero tandaan po natin,
na minsan lang po ang buhay. Gawin po nating makulay. Huwag na po nating dagdagan ang problema natin sa pang-araw-araw nating pamumuhay sa mundong ito. Muli po, ito po si Coach Ed na nagsasabi sa inyong sama-sama sa TLC.
Bawat buhay may pinagdaanan. Dahil ito'y parang isang gulong, kung minsan nasa ilalim, kung minsan naman nasa ibabaw. Subalit ng lahat ng ito'y ating malalampasan, sama-sama sa TLC.